Hi, Dr. Christina Hallett here, board certified clinical psychologist, executive coach, joyologist, and international speaker. Why am I here today? This is not part of the 21-day video challenge. Woo! How about that? This is because a couple weeks ago, I asked you, what are some things that you would love to hear somebody talk about? And I'm going to be doing a series of videos to answer those questions. Now, here's the trick is I got the answer or looked at your question and wrote it down, and I'm just going to tell you what I think. So we're going to start with the very first question, and this came from my good friend Trisha Brook, and her question was, why do pets make us feel deep love? Well, to begin with, they do, right? That is absolute fact. And there's a good reason that pets make us feel love. So when we are petting a pet, a dog, a cat, typically we'll think of those, but I have birds too. This can work with birds. One of the things that that does is that gets our brain to release oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, three different things that help us to feel more positive. Isn't that fantastic? Now, we already know that serotonin and dopamine are connected, and oxytocin and dopamine are connected. And dopamine, hey, it helps us feel good. Oxytocin is that neurotransmitter that we look at that has to do with our connections and our social connections. And the truth of the matter is that connecting with our pets, it just brings up that good feeling. Particularly if have you ever had a day where you're just not feeling good, maybe emotionally you feel like crap, or maybe physically you're just, like me, you've got the cold that will not end, and you have a pet. So let's say you have, like I do, a puppy. I have a little mini Bernedoodle. He's so cute. Anyway, Falcon is his name. I know. Hey, I didn't name him. I would have named him, but I didn't. So Falcon, the dog, will come and cuddle up with me, and he smells a little puppy smell, and it just feels so good. And my brain floods my body with oxytocin and dopamine, and I feel positive. It helps shift our mood. So that's from a scientific and a brain perspective, that's part of it. There's also research, and this is pretty interesting, but there's research that people are less reactive to pet faces than they are to human faces. Isn't that interesting? I know. So certain people may look at neutral faces and they'll view them as more negative or rejecting, right? Negative or rejecting. And they don't have that same reaction to pet faces. Now, obviously, it depends on what kind of pet faces that you're looking at. Because if you're looking at, a sort of snarling, angry, upset animal, uh, that's going to have a different feeling. You're not going to get that warm, squishy, deep love feeling. Obviously, right? Do I even need to say that? Anyway, sorry. See, told you, the cold that won't go. So, this research on pet faces and our responses to pet faces as well as human faces is also really interesting, because how can we use this? If you don't have a pet, let's say you live in an apartment or you travel a lot, or you're just somewhere where it doesn't work for you to have a pet. One of the things that you can do is you can have on one of your mobile devices or on your wall, wherever, you can have a picture of a pet that speaks to you in terms of, you look at your pet and you just feel that warm, lovey, squishy. I keep saying squishy because that's sort of how I feel when I think about my pets. So you can use just the picture of a pet that speaks to you. Now, there's one other thing that really has to do with why pets help us feel love. And this is the thing. Have you ever been the person who took a puppy and went for a walk, let's say to a dog park, or you were walking around and saw somebody else who had a cute little puppy, and you're like, oh, a puppy. And then the person says, oh yeah, go ahead. They're so nice. Yeah, pet them. What it allows you to do is to connect with people. Now, we will never get away from this. We, as a species, human beings, are meant to be connected. Absolutely. Our interpersonal relationships add tremendously to our lives. So puppies also, or pets, not just puppies, pets help us feel a deep love because they're also a way for us to feel connected. finally, it's a way to say there's something that matters to me. Now, there's probably lots of things that matter to you, but pets are just one example of having something that you can focus on and say, this matters. This matters. This relationship matters. And I have a purpose in the world. Now, truthfully, you have a lot of different purposes in the world. There's not just one. And just being your little pet mom or dad is not your only purpose. But on those days that everything just feels gray and crappy, well, thinking about a pet can be something that helps you stick with it. I hope you enjoyed this answer. What I'd love for you to do is add in new questions. You tell me, what are the things that you, thanks, Claire. Hi. Tell me, what questions do you have? What would you like to hear somebody speak about? Maybe it's your favorite topic to hear about and you just want to hear my perception or a different point of view, or maybe it's something that you've always wanted the answer to. And you know what? I will give you my take on it because this is part of an actual growth series that I'm working on doing. So I'd love you to let me know what's your question. You can leave it in the comments. And by the way, don't forget, drop on over to whatever platform you listen to podcasts on and check out the Be Awesome podcast series. There's a new episode coming out tomorrow and you're just going to love it. Thanks. Take care.